Hello, Overwatch fans. My name is Spherno, and I'm joined by Pear. Say hi, Pear.
Hello, that's me.
Thank you. And welcome to the Fruit Bowl cast. We're going to be viewing various matches from all of the Overwatch League teams and discussing each play in detail as well as strategies used on both sides. Today is a beautiful Saturday morning, afternoon, or night at the time of this recording, depending on what side of the world you're on, and that makes it a perfect day for some Overwatch. Today we're watching the Hangzhou Spark take on the Guangzhou Charge. After yesterday's matches, we saw the Spark win in a reverse sweep against the Chengdu Hunters, and the Guangzhou Charge lost a 3-0 game to their opponents, the Shanghai Dragons. Will Hangzhou keep showing sparks of life, or will Guangzhou suddenly charge through their competition? Let's find out.
You warned me about those puns, and I still wasn't prepared for the quality that was
No, but did you laugh? That's the
waiting.
real question. Did you laugh?
I think I grimaced.
Oh,
Um,
well,
I
I take what I get.
guarantee
I'm going to take what I
a,
get
a
there.
pain, a painful grimace was endured by the
Painful
neutral
grimace.
party.
Yeah, a painful grimace came across on my end, too.
Yes.
Well, I'm very
Well,
disappointed just off the start here. I'm not seeing Adora playing May, and that disappoints me.
I'm over the moon to not see Adora play.
Really? Okay.
I don't particularly rate Adora or Bazzi. I know these are better than I'll ever be, but I've
Hang
I've not seen.
Hangzhou is like my second favorite team, so I'm also fanboying over them this game against the Guangzhou Charge. So uh,
It's
I'm
two in
I
a row.
I miss
Um,
yes. If we keep doing games that I'm gonna fanboy over, then I mean that's your fault. Really, that's not my fault.
Right then, as we get into the actual reason we're doing this, we're seeing the SimTP come out for both teams and seeing the Hanzo come through for Godspeed and McCree for Happy. So we'll see how that favours as
Happy is a great McCree, but Godsby is an even better Hanzo. So the sniper duel between the two of them on non-sniper characters
the
should be fun
bias
to
has
watch.
already come out as Kron has been pulled down into the pit by the Gushui's Orisa and he gets picked off by a main tank for the spark. But the charge are on the point and they do actually cap it. So getting 3% really is tank line gets splashed by anti-nade from Shu, kept up by the immortality field from IDK there, and Charge's going to come back on and contest this. They've got a free 12% when they lost Krong early on in the fight, who was backed up into a corner. Gushui falls to Happy, but Godsby with a headshot onto Krong as Neptuno finds Bazzi. It's like for like, but Godsby finding Happy and my broadcast freezing and then crashing
Well,
will
you know,
only let us know what happens as all two frames of Godspeed, and we get an ad in 2 seconds. This is fantastic quality as
and
WT Faster promoting their wares to us.
well, you know, Chinese broadcasts absolutely the best. They're the best.
And as we can see here, Godspeed absolutely popping off, picked up a 6K with a 360 headshot that we'll never see. Um, so IDK did use the amplification matrix, and Charge got 35% off of that, which is
Yeah, that was
quite a
that was
decent amount.
interesting. I honestly thought the Guangzhou Charge were going to take that fight, especially with the way they were playing around the natural cover, and Hangzhou just barreled onto the point. They were playing out in the open, trying to weed out all the hiding players, and it worked. That was a very good play.
Yes, it was. As Godspeed falls to an icicle from Nero early on. Charge now have an advantage and they can press onto point. They do get off it. They do opt to chase down targets on the left-hand side as Bazzi and Sasson get hit by the anti-nade. Nero looking for something onto Gushui here. Settles for the supercharger instead as the flux is through from Sasson. Doesn't find anyone and Bazzi falls to Happy's arrows. Bebe does come up to it. It's a three-man freeze from Bazzi. Gushui finds Nero but Happy clicking over the storm arrows. Krong falls to Sasson's accretion and this is a lot more level than the Charge would like to have it as Happy dodges out the way and the Charge can call a full retreat there.
Yeah. However, and I think the reason that the Charge are going to benefit in the next fight is Rio is going to have his supercharger online. Gujue is not. He just kind of threw it out in the open there. I don't know what he was trying to save or what he was trying to do, but he just threw supercharger out there onto the point, right in the open, and Nero said, "Oh, look at this! It's a free ult. I'll just take that away from him. How about that?" And that's a free fight win. Usually, your superchargers can end up being a free fight win if you
Happy
place
falls
them
early.
correctly.
Happy falls early to
Oh,
Bazzi and that's going to be a
happy,
Charge having to retreat again.
happy, but
Um,
it's okay because they didn't use any of their ults.
Don't act sad at that. Speaking of ults, Godspeed uses his Dragon Strike and Baby uses the Transcendence. 99% now for the Spark, and they do get to stall. But how long this lasts? Assassin falls to Krong. Now Nero looking for a flank onto Gushui's arrest here. Does get the freeze off and sure him combining there to finish him off. Baby does find Nero though. Neptuno takes out his Baptiste counterpart and Godspeed trying to spam down arrows, but he's only hitting the shield of Krong. And now that's the point flipped and Shu picks up a nice double there, and you'll see some charge accruing even more percentage to what they got at the start of the round.
And just like we saw, just like I said, the ults were the fight changers for them. The second that the charge decided to use their supercharger and the blizzard, the fight was basically over. I mean, there was nothing that Hangzhou could do. They had to pull out as fast as they could.
Now looking at the ults the charge do have, they're very stacked with the Dragon Strike. Using it now already, happy with an aggressive commit there. Gets IDK low. Does get healed up though. And now Spark can start making their way on towards the point.
Not a super effective Dragon Strike, meaning that they're going to be lacking it when the Sparks start pushing onto the point.
But the Spark are taking so long, it's already in last fight territory, they still haven't put a body onto the point.
Yeah, they can't get through. They can't put a body on the point if they're constantly in danger of the poke damage. They have to make a play, and they have to either rush one side or the other with everybody. And see,
Godspeed was the recipient of that poke damage, as is Bazzi. That's 2 picks off the Hanzo for the charge, and then he picks up Saturn as well.
Well, they clearly picked the wrong side.
The Spark didn't even get a fight off.
No, they didn't.
They didn't get a clean engage after the point was flipped, and they would have if they hadn't given up that 35%. The charge at the start of the round, and it'd be a devastating map to lose.
Yeah, the Spark didn't like how it felt being on the receiving end of trying to rush the point, and couldn't deal with the stress. They cracked under the pressure, and that signified a round win for the charge.
As we're going to be seeing Farah coming out for Nero, or maybe not, as Neptuno switches off the Mercy to the Brigand. He's going to go over to the May again.
Yeah. It's very disconcerting hearing my echo through your microphone, or through your microphone. It's very disconcerting.
Well, you shouldn't be doing that. As a big TP comes out from Happy there to get them towards the point.
Okay, look at the differences in the take lines and in the DPS. We've got the McCree versus Hanzo, but we do have Rein Diva versus Double Barrier. One is very mobile, the other is not. And we got to see whether the mobility helps the charge or leads them to their doom on this map.
Yeah, but not having the Lucio as he's out of the hero pools for this week is going to affect the charge quite badly.
Rio's Reinhardt, like we see, without that speed boost or without Lucio there to back him up, Rio was just a sitting duck for the mobility of the Spark.
Gushui's just as sitting and just as duck as Krong finds him, and Happy answers on to IDK, and Happy now finds triple later on in this fight, and it's just Bazzi trying to start this point, but he's going to be the recipient of the Peacemaker from Happy as a McGree with the Peacemaker, our favourite hero in Overwatch. The charge do cap the point early on.
Well, you know what they say in Texas, it's high noon.
I don't think they say that anywhere.
No, I definitely... Well, they could. At high noon, they would probably say that.
That is true. But speaking of high noons, Happy's close to his.
Yeah.
Probably build it up in this fight as the Sparks start to engage. What do they? They're playing very passively, the Spark.
Yeah,
they're waiting for something.
They're waiting for Happy is what they're doing. They're trying to let him charge up his ult just enough to bait it out, so that once there's no high noon, there's no threat of that high noon. Yeah,
Godspeed's Dragon Strike comes through. Then he finishes off now, but uses the Ice Box to stay alive, and now Shu trying to heal up his tank so actually get a fight out of this. He does have the Nano Boost and slaps it onto Krong. Krong goes after Godspeed, doesn't find any luck there as he loses his mech. Happy said I doesn't find anything. Godspeed going very low, but it's kept up. Nero's Blizzard does come through, and Happy and Krong start cleaning up. But IDK answers back onto Nero, and now Assassin's getting poked down from Happy on the side as well as Rio with the hammer main. The Assassin pushes into Happy, gets hit by the flashbang, and uses his kinetic grasp to stay healthy as Happy just shooting into the shield from Assassin. Assassin falls incredibly low. Godspeed does pick off Happy, and Tuno's rally comes out and the flux is in from Assassin. looking to find Rio, who doesn't quite survive the impact, as it's 75% built up for the charge, and they're still fighting. Nero now on the tracer to stall it out. Prong flying around on point as well. As you see some form of flip coming over for the spark, and they do get it, but 82% accrued for the side of the Guangzhou charge.
Yeah, you can tell that the charge took a liking to the meta during the first few weeks of the league because they're trying their best to run as close to that meta as possible with a couple differences here and there. But the meta is the meta for a reason. Swapping in other heroes doesn't work quite the same way that certain heroes do. Like Baptiste over Lucio just doesn't work for the meta. So I know what they're trying to run. They're trying to run that basic meta that we saw in like weeks 1 through 4, but without the full team gathered there, there's not much they can do about it. And Hangzhou are taking advantage of that as much as they can. Now sometimes it pays off, sometimes it doesn't. And poor
Speaking of
Chrome.
not paying off,
Yeah,
Chrome's
that
bottom doesn't
that was
do
a
that.
sad self-destruct.
Rio does get nano boost, but he's getting pressured down. So much damage coming through from the spark that he has to back off. Happy does kill IDK though, and the supercharger is felled by Rio's hammer as the trans comes through from Bebe. The spark want to fight this as Rio goes up into the air and down and doesn't find anyone with his shatter. He falls down and somehow answers onto Gushou with the pin as Bassi falls to Krong's Diva, and that might be point flipped immediately almost with the charge.
And that now we're in last fight territory. So Hangzhou, we saw last round, they don't deal well with going on the offensive. They do well with defense, and that's the whole point of the double barrier comp. Is they're meant to play defense with the bunker, have Orisa, but they are pulling out the wrecking ball. So maybe they decided Orisa wasn't mobile enough for an attack. And I would agree with that.
For the stall on the ball, and it's frozen up. All the CC in the world going onto this man as the Blizzard and the Dragon Strike comes through as well. It's a pick onto IDK. Assassin commits the flux. He's got to it. Is the last fight. Doesn't find any joy of it though as Bazzi falls to Krong's Diva.
No, and it's looking like the Charge are going to take the first map.
It looks like they do, and that's going to upset you quite a bit, as well as the Spark.
No, I'm not upset. The Spark can still come back. I'm fully confident that they could come back.
Yeah, but will they? We saw that they're just playing far too passively to get much value there.
Yeah,
they need to press their W keys a little bit more.
They specialize with the defense, but not so much on the offense. Every time the Charge stole the point from them, they couldn't get it back.
Well, at least not quickly enough to have any real impact. So we're going to head into map 2 if I can find a decent time. I can, just about. And we're seeing Adora coming on the May. I don't have many opinions on Adora. I've not seen much from him.
Yes, Adora's back in. Adora's a great May. Adora plays a fantastic May. There's no question.
You could say that you adore his May.
Oh yeah, definitely. I adore his May.
I can absolutely guarantee that was better than the puns at the start of the
absolutely not. Okay.
Recording there.
Everybody who watches this video needs to comment whether his puns are better, whether Pear's puns are better, or whether my puns are better, and I can guarantee it's going to be my puns that reign out 100%.
Yep. You can say that all you want, but I think the two viewers may disagree. As Happier switches off the Widow onto the Hangzhou here, as we're seeing double shield coming out. We're seeing an entire mirror matchup here. Of course, this does favour the Spark because they've got this slight advantage from running it from the starters.
Well, not just that, they're running it off the high ground too, and the high ground makes all the difference in most battles.
Yep, as now you're going to see the Charge putting some meters onto this payload, getting it under the arch as IDK topping up Adora's May.
Okay, so the Charge are trying this weird two-sided flank, and it split them up so much that Bebe was able to get the pick onto Happy.
A fantastic pull came through from Gushou to enable that volley there from Bebe as the Charge have to back off this point now. They can't realistically fight this as Phosphine now poking down.
The Spark showing us exactly why that choke point is such a good choke point to capture your enemies at. I mean, if you stop them, if you stop the payload there, just like I believe the Valiant against the Shock, they just stopped them right there in that.
Yeah, and Shu gets stopped in his tracks as well. Gets hit by a bunch of damage, and he's going to fall early on in this fight as well. Now, Charge have to reset again.
Yeah, I'm enjoying this Baptiste play coming in on both sides. Baptiste Zen, that is not a combo we see often. Usually it's like on a Brig, on a Lucio, Anna Bap. Usually Anna's in there somewhere. Anna is part of that puzzle that cannot be replaced. But Bap Zenyatta, that is
A little bit
it's unique.
unorthodox.
It is, but it's unique, and both teams are playing it. All the Chinese teams have tried it. All four of them have tried it sometime this weekend.
Yep, and speaking of trying things, the Charge need to try and stay alive as the Ant Matrix from IDK are hounding them down, but they do get out, all of them alive, and
Well,
they can now go in and fight this again. Godspeed finds a lovely headshot onto Happy as he's now on the flank. Adora does use his Blizzard as Godspeed picks up a second. This Hangzhou play so clean for the Sparkers. It's going to be another fight one. Nero's still in this, but Godspeed finds him as well with the body shot and minute and a half on the clock. It's not looking good for the Charge.
Yeah, IDK is looking very, very confident on the Baptiste. He knows the max.
Happy.
Oh no! Oh, Happy! What? Godsby! Oh, Godsby, you monster! Godsby! I don't know what kind of snipe that was. I wish we could go back and see it, but on that high ground, Godsby is going to be a monster. Like I said, his
I
Hanzo
imagine
play.
the Charge aren't too happy with that one there.
No, they're not going to be very happy. They have a minute left, and one of their players just got beaten before they could even take a clear push.
Yep. And now I'm going to start getting some meters. Nero sneakily capturing this. He's not been challenged as of yet, but Shu gets challenged by Gushui's Orisa, and he falls. And it's just the tale of picks here for the Spark. They get a pick at the start of every fight, and
It snowballs.
Does snowball. You're going to be into a 5-ult fight really for the Charge. This is make or break, but it's 4 ults for the Spark. They haven't needed to use them because they've been able to find the kills before they've really even needed to invest anything. As 30 seconds on the clock, make or break for the Charge now. As Nero poking away at Adora.
I expect this to be a very back and forth match. I think we're going to see both teams are going to just keep going back and forth. Like we could see, just like with the Valiant and Shock on some of those maps, we'd see like one team would do something and the other one would say, cool, let me do it better than you. And then the other team would say, well, cool, but now let me do it better than you. And it'd be a very back and forth, back and forth.
Well, one thing that the Charge needs to do better is move the payload, but Kron going down to Doucheway so early on won't help us. Happy and Neptune get caught by the flux. Assassin finds Nero, even with the trans out from Shu, it's not saving the members of the Chargers. Assassin picks up a second, and that is an incredible hold from the Hangzhou Spark.
So the result, the takeaway from this is that every team needs to play like the Hunters. They just need to play what they're comfortable with, because the Charge are trying to play the same thing as the Spark, or they're trying to play what has become, I'm going to call it the meta for the Pacific Division this week, and they're not comfortable with it. And because they're not comfortable, the Spark are taking full advantage. They're saying, well, IDK knows exactly how to play the Baptiste, and Bebe is clearly the superior Zenyatta, so we're just gonna play our supports really well. Gujue and Assassin are fantastic tank lines. And Adora and Godsby, I mean, I don't know what else to say. Nero and Happy are doing good, but on this map specifically, they're not holding a candle to what the two of them can do, especially with that high ground.
No, you could say it's been a real shoe-in for support as
Oh, Lord.
Bebe definitely ahead of the opposing Charge member. You invited me to make fans the moment you put them into the intro, so...
that is true, that is, yeah.
I mean, IDK if you'll be happy at the end of this match, so...
I quit. You can just run this show by yourself.
Okay, bye.
I'm not leaving. You're stuck with me. Oh, well, yeah, disappointed.
Worse luck, I guess. There's, you're going to need to see big plays from the Charge on this round. You're going to need to hold even better than the Spark did, as going to be running exact mirror matchup as you're going to see Assassin and Dora going on the flank, two infamous flankers in the Sigma and May.
Yeah, Godsby's an even better flanker. I mean, when he finds those sightlines like he is right now, even just that little sliver, you might not even be able to see it watching this match normally, but he's got just this tiny sliver of his opponents in his viewpoint, and he's nailing every shot.
He's just hitting the shield, he's busting the shield so low, and it's bad damage for the Charge. They're forced to rotate off this high ground early, because this is their only fight they're going to get, really, so they've got to make sure they win it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the Spark don't have all that far to push it. They just have to make it through that choke, and that'll be the map.
I can already hear it being shouted out. The peril is reaching its destination as the rock reaches its destination of happy. Pull does come through from Goucher, gets some decent damage in, but the Spark have nearly capped this already. They're just 2 meters away from victory, and Rio going incredibly low won't help them with that. Assassin now is seeing the battle of the May and Sigma battle for dominance here as seems to be Assassin's winning it as Nero goes in for the freeze, gets picked off by the headshot from Adora. Assassin does go down to Krong, but the damage may already be done as Bebe finds Neptuno, and IDK chucks down the Amp Matrix. Neptuno's used his as well, and that will be all she wrote for Dorado as the Spark. They get one back on the charge.
Yeah, they didn't even need to get the full team wipe to win that. They just had to push them away from the cart and say, okay, well, we've got all this space. We're just going to have our tank line make space, and we can push straight to the end. No problem.
There was no problem for the Spark. They're a smooth round of Dorado as we move into map 3.
No, and
Eventually,
the charges Hanzo very ineffective during that. I'm sure they weren't too happy about that.
Ah, yes, this joke again.
Yeah.
Well,
pulled it in a better. I pulled the joke out in a better situation.
I'm sure they could. The charge got to start praying to the gods above, God Neptune, no, to maybe get back in the lead in this series. As no subs coming through from either side that I can see. Still this double shield from Mei Hanzo, reminiscent of the 2019 playoffs. What a fun time that was.
The 2019 playoffs. I love the 2019 playoffs.
I'm glad that one of us did, as Godsby still poking, looking for an angle. He knows Rio and Krong are set up on this left side, and Sonica revealing all, but a better one comes out. Rio chokes his shield up in the air to get a better cooldown on it when it lands, and now the Spark go, but it's too late as Nero picks off a door.
There's a full possibility for both teams to achieve a full hold here. We've seen it done in the Chinese division before. It's not that hard at this level to achieve that full hold. It just requires both teams to play at their best. And the Charge are certainly playing at their best.
A good turnaround over half-time. A rousing team talk coming through from the coach, I'm sure, as Godspeed. Poking over, looking for a pick. Sees Rio. It's a prime target, but the shield keeps him healthy.
So Godspeed's going around the side. He's looking for a good flank angle.
Got room. The Spark have got room to work with now, and the darkness is our only friend as Godspeed Rio flanking again. Go around the right side of the pillar. He's not committing to a side as Mushu gets lifted up, and Godspeed does find Neptuno, commits to a pick and finds it, and now the Spark really need to press their W key. They've got the pick on the opposing BAP. They've got the Amp Matrix down. This should be a one fight as Nero dueling it out with Krong and Shu on his side. Sasson gets walled off, and Bebe uses the trans.
And without
Sasson falls pretty much instantly as now Streamham Wrecking Crew keep going. Shu picks up a Dora. Gooseway finds the opposing main tank, and they've ready a crew to tick on the point. Not quite a second, they get off just before they can reach that, but Happy's back, and well, thanks for playing the game, Spark. You're not doing it anymore as he cleans up the fight with onto Bebe and Krong onto IDK.
Yeah, what should have been a one fight just turned into terrible ult usage on the side of the Spark. And when the Charge finally got their member back, they said, okay, well, we've got our ults now. It's time to see what we can do with them. And they used the trans, and they used the Dragon Strike, and suddenly the Spark aren't winning anymore.
No, and now only a minute and a half on the clock. Time flies when you're getting rolled as Sasson gets picked off by Krong, and now Spark need to start worrying. There should be alarm bells ringing. They've got ults to work with, but if they don't work with them quick enough, they're down to really their last decent fight with a minute on the clock.
Yeah, the best course of action here would be maybe to split off the team with the Dragon Strike and try to use the trans on one group of three, maybe pick them out.
Use the trans now, though.
Bebe, please, just stop getting caught out. The Charge, we're very happy about that.
Happy's just getting free real estate here. He's just firing in these fully charged arrows, and he's finding heads.
The Charge tanks are just making so much space for him. Like, it's impossible that the defending team ever gets that much space to move in on the Spark.
No, it's Krong. Obviously helping with that portable shield of his. He's got the flux online. It can be answered by Sassons, but I just feel like Chrome's going to get more value out of this. The way that the Charge have been playing, 20 seconds on the clock on the Spark. Need a minor miracle if they're to get any real progress on this point. They've nearly picked up 2 ticks, but that meter reset as Saturn does get found by Nero as Happy takes up Gushui's supercharger. And now the Spark are on the point. They get on just quick enough. There will be overtime if they touch now. Yes, they used the trans from Bebe and Adora fell shoe. Krong looking for a pick here, gets Neptuno incredibly low and the flux comes in. Bebe gets launched up. He can't find any hyperspheres onto him. Those IDK falls to Nero. Happy's taken out by Adora, using that May Prowess to good effect now as looking for Rio. Uses the wall to keep himself healthy, as well as the ice block, as Gushui does fall to Neptuno, and now this suddenly favours the charge, well maybe not, as Neptuno does get picked off by Adora, but the trans coming through from Shu. That might be the final nail in the coffin, as
Oh gosh.
it's
Okay.
not quite a full hold, but it is pretty good from the charge. They only give up a tick. 2 ticks, 84%, and
The Spark are the only team I know that could run into a fight with 5 ults, use every single one of them, and still manage to get beat. How in the world did you guys let that happen? How in the world did you let that happen?
simple answer, Happy and Nero.
Well, yeah, that's the simple answer. The not so simple answer, Hangzhou is struggling. That's,
Yes,
I mean, there you
absolutely.
go.
The charge must be grateful because after that sort of attack, Spark must, be in a position where they're to hand you the victory. Hand you the victory. Hangzhou, hand you.
It's okay. It's just you're gonna hurt yourself if you try too hard with that one.
It's like a pun.
I know what it was. It's just you're gonna hurt yourself trying too hard.
Okay, lesson noticed I shan't make any more jokes for the rest of this one.
Happy is going on to the Widowmaker. He is trying to outsnipe Godsby, but at the same time, the attacking team
I
usually
think
doesn't get that much high ground to work with.
I think you'll be looking for a pick. I presume you've seen the video of the I think it is KSF hitting an insane headshot out of the spawn door. It's the Shanghai Dragons.
Yeah, the only
Um,
sniper that I'm concerned about though is the Zenyatta. Let's be honest.
Absolutely. This the exact shot he's looking for. Nearly
Ooh,
finds
almost gets
Godspeed.
Godsby.
Does not. He'll go switch over to the Hanzo now, I feel, and yep. Now let's see if the charge can do what the Spark could not. So they go straight in with the shield, looking for the pull up onto the opposing Zen, and Bebe falls
And there goes the
instantly.
Bebe, meaning the Guangzhou should just be able to steamroll this point. And all they have to do is capture all they have to do is capture 1 point.
To capture 84.1% if they're to win, and looks like they're a little bit slow. It isn't a mobile comp as Prong now starts to make his way towards the point. Godspeed poking him from an angle, but he's absolutely fine with that shield. And now there's ready to tick off the Spark, and Godspeed falls to Krong, and I feel like that could be the real sign of it starting to fall apart. Neptuno does fall, but at this point it might just be too little too late as Krong does go low, uses the kinetic grasp just to stay healthy, and
Yeah, but his support's right
now
there
the
next to him.
Yushui falls. They trade out Nero for that, but it's IDK versus the world, and dominant
Mm.
attack, dominant map from the charge, and now the Spark,
That was
they're going to need
fast.
to do what they could not.
That was very fast.
Very fast rounds of Overwatch. We've seen a 2-0, a 1-0, and another 1-0.
Yeah, so that
Making
means
it 10.
I mean, we're just that means the next two maps have to take some time. I mean, I want to see a match of Overwatch. I don't just want to see a few steamrolls. That's like watching a few bronze players get played against an Overwatch League team. That's about what it
I'm
feels
sure
like.
you're well acquainted to bronze players down in your
I
rank, as
am not a bronze player. You hush.
I cannot stop waiting for this for the rest of time, as now we're sort of charge playing farming simulator on that last map. It seemed like let's hope they can maybe not be so dominant this one if you're the Spark, or if you are the charge. You want to wrap this series up early and go to bed. I would. See now,
Well,
double shield
go to
coming
bed.
out
I
from
think it's
both
more like
teams.
noon where they are at the time of them playing this. It was probably like noon.
True.
So
Well, this is 9 a.m. my time, so
they've
now
just
Rio goes to the pull.
they're just trying to finish this up fast so they can go on some hunt for some toilet paper.
It's absolute necessity in the modern life, I'm sure. As Charge waiting to get that shield down from rear so they can really press forward through the choke, but Stormhouse from Godspeed providing good pressure and just not letting them get any progress through this point. IDK set up on a nice perch here. He can't really be
Again,
touched by the members of the charge.
I keep praising IDK, but he knows the Baptiste very well. He's playing the max range. He knows exactly where to place himself so that he can consistently nail the healing bullets, so he can consistently nail shots onto his opponents. He knows his hero, which I can't say the same for Neptuno, but ooh, Krong.
Well, Shu should be knowing the Spawn Room quite well.
Krong and Nero, what do they think they're doing? What are Krong and Nero doing? They're all the way near. Where were they? They're still there.
They're on their own little adventure. I don't know where they are.
Neither do I. We saw them come out on the right side of the point, but now they're not there anymore. Where did they go? They're still alive. They're just waiting.
They're still hiding back here.
They're just waiting.
Flank of the century.
Oh my, guys. Guys, I don't think that's...
They might as well join the Sparks backline here as they're probably going to start entering the fight now, but it might be too late. Or is it? Happy takes out Godspeed, but Sassen finds Shu. Happy falls to Adora as well, and now Nero and Krong, they do get to the point. I will give them that, but no sooner are they on it than they're off it, and now they're looking to rotate back via this Mega. Nero picks it up to stay healthy, but
Nero and Krong, they still haven't fallen though. They've spent all this time in the back line. They still haven't gone down. The two of them are
probably reminiscent of your comp games. These flankers not being punished by your team, but they're not doing anything, so there's no real need to punish them. Shu finds Gouchwei though. That could be bad. The main tank is a big factor of this comp for the Spark. As now we see Adora and Nero and Krong even in the right place at the right time to get some percentage onto the point. The Spark can't answer this back. The long game being played by the Charge here, and it's ludicrously working out for them as they're now onto the point.
Somebody touch the point, please. Are you just going to give it to them? They're just going to give it to him.
They
just gave it to him.
Yeah, losing Gouchwei wasn't good, but they are going to get the instant respawn that was added to the assault game mode.
Oh boy. Well, that was disappointing. Come on, guys. All you had to do, maybe just get a small touch, drain a little bit of time off the board. That's all I was asking.
But the ults are definitely stacked in the favor of the Spark for this fight.
They are. They have 4 ults, but we saw how well that worked on Eichenwald.
Absolutely.
4 ults or 5 ults, and they still managed to lose that team fight. So
chasing the charge quite aggressively for a non-mobile comp like this double shield. It's quite aggressive players. Gouchwei does use the supercharger and finds little value out of it.
I would argue against this comp being very non-mobile. I mean, Sigma's the only character in the game where he can consistently attack and shield while moving against his opponents.
No, it's true, but a majority of the comp does like to stay still. It likes to be set up in these nice little isolated areas.
That is true. I would agree that of like Batiste and the Orisa and the Mei. They're very no, Zen's a mobile character. Zen could be considered very mobile. I guess it just depends on how you play Zen, and both of these teams play their own unique. Do you want to say that again, just a little bit louder? I want to hear that.
Oh yeah, sorry. This is why you're silver and these players aren't, as the charge start making their way. 2 walls come through, Adora's Blizzard is dropped. That's going to freeze up Krong, but the transcendence from Shu is going to keep him nice and healthy, or is it, as he falls almost instantly to Adora as I say that. But Godspeed goes down and Nero falls later, and I think that might be it for this fight. As Happy sparing to the back. So they've still got 2.5 minutes on the clock, but they did throw away the Blizzard and the Supercharger there, the charge. Really does get Gouchwei though, so this could be a pick if they're quick enough.
It could be, yeah.
Neptuno just respawning now though isn't going to help him. He's not going to get back by the time Orisa can get back up to this nice little
especially with that wall. That was a very nice wall placement.
Oh, Shu.
Well, that push was over before it started. Yeah, go home. Go home, guys. Go home, Charge. Go drunk, you're home.
Go drunk, you're home. Some words to live by. Perhaps the Charge could... there. Yeah, some sage words of wisdom from our resident Silver. And, Charge, they've got to do something now. 2 good fights, maybe 3 if they're quick, but this comp isn't quick.
No, it's not.
Happy's got the Dragon Strike. He can get them off this high ground, and he does. He drops it. Assassin's Flux, those big in the stairways. Gushui falls incredibly low, but IDK keeps him up. They do give up the high ground, and they do find Adora.
But the Spark are
Adora's
split
down.
up. The Spark are definitely split up. You've got Guangzhou
Krong uses
rushing
the
those three
fluxes.
members. Yeah, I mean, they were able to push them off the high ground just that easily. The well-placed Dragon Strike, it split up the team, forced the ball off of the high ground, and Guangzhou could take that space.
Assassin fell as well, which isn't going to help Masters. Gushui goes incredibly low. Krong looking to take out Godsby here, and is happy finishes the job for him, but still no percentage accrued for the charge. They step on now. They don't quite get a tick as Bebe uses the trans. The Shu does, even Bebe doesn't have it yet as Bebe falls precariously low. Does take out Krong though, the infamous sniper coming through for the spark is... Now, Nero looking to get some work done with the amplified icicles. Shu finds Assassin though. Both Zens finding pickoffs here as Rio finishes off the Baby Diva. Now they need to get onto the point. 30 seconds left. They've stalled for a long time. Krong is now on the ball. IDK gets fallen by the Dragon Strike, but
Such
chance
a
comes out from
quick
Baby.
Dragon Strike. The rate at which Happy charged up that Dragon Strike is insane.
No, it definitely is. The charge still don't quite get a tick. Assassin doing just enough to keep him stored off, and now Gushui sets up this bunker in the con. He's going to be hard to displace. IDK keeping him alive. Nero has the Blizzard. He just drops it down onto Gushui. Doesn't quite have Fortify available, so falls through it, but Godsby has now switched over to the Panic Widow and found Neptuno.
Well, getting Guzhue out of that corner wasn't as hard as we thought it was going to be.
Baby now on the flank, looking for some value here. Trying to take out Nero, not finding any shots though, as Bebe's still on this high ground and still not really helping his team. And
Bebe, I think you're on the wrong side of the. I think you're on the wrong
Bebe
side of
does
the
get
point.
Nero, but I think that's going to be too little, too late. They can just entirely ignore Bebe. He's going to do no real damage to them. They can't.
Yeah, he has no
heal back up.
range. He has range, but it's not the range that he needs to get substantial picks down on that point.
No, he's now in the opposing
What are you
chokers.
doing? Bebe, you're on the wrong side of the map, buddy. You're on the wrong
Nero's
side.
Tracer coming through. Bebe now dueling off Nero's Tracer. If he can find it, it could be a big pick, but the members are already being fooled on the point by the charge, and Bebe, he's almost given this point away, you could say, but maybe that might be a bit extreme as Gushui falls and Godsby is the brave soldier to stand up and fight. He doesn't last too long, and that's going to be the round. 2 points to the Chargers. We saw some very entertaining plays there.
Oh, geez. That was... Well, Bebe, I don't know what to say. You're playing on the wrong side of the point the entire time. And Nero and Krong, that was a fantastic flank in the first point.
Yeah, we can never criticize
Everything went the Chargers' way that round.
the size of the brains of Nero and Krong is
Yeah, Nero,
massive. They were
Can you imagine the thought process behind that? They said, okay, how about we let you guys take a 4v6 and we'll just play from the back. But we won't actually play, we're just going to watch. We're just going to eat
we'll
a
let you
bowl of
take a
popcorn.
4v6.
Yeah, they were probably sitting right next to each other, at their
We'll have
PCs, having a bowl of popcorn, watching the whole thing unfold.
We'll have a little journey of self-discovery. We'll go around the point. You can lose another 4v6. We'll then get pressured down, but if you can win the 4v6, we'll do something. And somehow, incredibly,
And
the
even
road trip ended well.
even losing those 4v6 fights, it didn't matter. The Charge still were able to get onto the point, push off the Spark. They didn't even touch the point. The Spark didn't even make an attempt. They just said, here, half point A, we're going to defend point B perfectly, and then they put Bebe on the wrong side of the point. So
I think Bebe put himself on the wrong side of the point there.
yeah.
Seeing the same 6 heroes for the Spark. Ooh, Adora now on the Genji, though. Could be seeing something.
No, he swapped back on the Mei.
Fun,
Wow.
Fun is exempt from this round. We're seeing the Ryan Diva, though, and Anna through from Shu. Holding round the side of this door here. Assassin just checking for opponents inside the little room to the right of the hyperspheres, and now Spark begin to go as they freeze temporarily. Big freeze from Nero there as they push her into this room. Nero still pressing up very aggressively as the rest of the Spark can join Assassin. Now, they're fighting in this room. Rio and Nero want to take a fight early, and Krong does go around behind to flank, but now Krong's trapped in. As Rio falls to Bebe,
Assassin's
Nero
by
gets
himself.
Assassin's walled off.
Well, there goes
Does get
Assassin.
found by Krong's Diva. Krong playing quite well on the Diva this entire series is now...
Well, I'd reckon to
Spark's
say
on the
that
high
pushes
ground.
over. That I mean, what are they going to do? They can't exactly wait for Sasson to get back because Sasson won't be able to get through that choke point unless the spark create enough
Shu
of a
falls to
distraction.
Godspeed though, and
Oh,
suddenly
whoa, okay,
the fight
well,
is alive. 2 frames are telling us Adora is going after Neptuno here. As the suspense is killing me.
it's moderately nipping at me. I'll be honest.
Oh, it's a little bit irritating, this suspense.
And
And now the Spark are capping the point. I can confirm that. We're seeing the migration of Baptiste as Happy's now looking at Bebe. Might be shooting, we can't tell.
Well, it
Rhea
appears that
gets
Adora couldn't
Godspeed
finish the job, so he
was
relied on
very-
Bebe to finish it for him.
I think we can say that the Spark are going to capture. Yep, the Spark have captured this point free of charge. As I was waiting to
Yes,
use that
this
joke
is-
for a while.
This is the best Overwatch picture book I think we're ever going to see.
This reminds me of when I had my old laptop with, I think, the gaming chip of a mobile phone. This is what it was like to play
And now it's
Overwatch
black.
on.
Well,
And now we're back.
okay,
Almost.
and almost. Well,
Assassin's sleeping just like the production team as a
well, that's what you get. It's NA production, you know?
NA production. Saw that from us recently as Krong gets frozen up by Adora. Dragon Strike comes through from Godspeed as well as Krong's mech falls as he's now left to survive Baby Diva. Happy's on the flank though. Happy trying to do what Bebe could not, but Happy might not have much luck because he's got to get right up close and personal to the entire Spark team, and I don't think he wants to do that. He can see that the supports are still up there. He probably knows Godspeed's up on this high ground, but now it's time to do some work. Time to earn your contract.
Oh,
can just say,
Bebe,
nope,
yes.
commit the trans, and now 2 have fallen on point for the charge as Assassin uses the flux, the rock onto Neptuno as well. Dora finishes him off.
I think we're going to
Rio
see
dies
extra
as
rounds.
well.
This is
Last
looking,
round was
yeah,
This
because
is not.
charge. Well, there's the diva, the last minute diva.
The
Didn't-
bomb comes in. This could be massive. He shatters that shield with immense skill. As 4 minutes basically on the clock to get a tick for the
Yeah,
spark.
all the immense skill that it takes to launch a diva bomb at a shield.
A massive Q press there from Krong. Didn't find anything, unfortunately, but
We are going into
We-
extra rounds. We finally get a match that lasts longer than the first point.
yes, it's incredible. I'm kind of at a loss of what to do at this point. I haven't commentated this for so long.
Well,
How?
we haven't commentated Hanamura. Hanamura just hasn't been a pick in a while. Hanamura just hasn't been the go-to map for a
No.
while.
Absolutely not. And now, this is going to be the charge running the strongest 6 heroes in this division. We can see him there.
The Wrecking
Yeah.
Ball. We finally get to see some Wrecking Ball. That's great.
We probably won't be seeing any Wrecking
No
Ball. because
Wrecking Ball. Oh, come on, Gujwei. Just give me the Wrecking Ball. Just 1 point. All I need is one Wrecking Ball.
I too would love to see the Wrecking Ball. Him being banned from comp this week does nothing but add to my sadness. As
Come on,
I
Gujwei.
can't play my-
Gujwei, just channel your inner Among.
I'm sure he can, as Happy laying down the law on the ground there.
Gujwei, no. Gujwei. Well, at least they're going to have double barrier against double barrier. The offense here...
Same 6 heroes. It's
So-
just like goats.
It,
And
it's just goats, but with DPS.
yeah, and we saw Somber Goats as basically this. As they're going to go back and make a change here. Maybe
Oh,
maybe we're not seeing this. Maybe
they've made a
We're seeing
they've made a
Tracer
decision.
and Ana.
Tracer,
A
Ana.
Genji.
Oh, well, they just changed their whole
He's
composition.
back.
And he's back on the Wrecking Ball. Yes, Wrecking
The ball
Ball.
is back. Overwatch League saved.
Oh.
There's a door now goes over the top.
Well, I think you're talking about goats. I think they heard you. I think they heard both of us. I think they were like, whoa.
Godspeed goes precariously low and gets the Mega to stay alive. As
But it's
And
okay.
Spark
He's going on
reposition.
some kind of weird flank. He's channeling his inner Nero. He's going on a flank. He's bringing Sasson with him.
a taste of their own medicine for the charge as the Sparks set up as
And
Bushway
Bushway.
falls basically
Oh.
immediately though. So that's not so good on the side of the Spark as Bebe's now stuck in the choke with Shu. Or IDK even, that's the wrong team as Godspeed preparing for the second spawn point that he's not going to get to see.
Well, I think Bebe and Shu, double Zenyatta being stuck in the choke, they should be fine.
Yeah, no, let's ignore that comment as Gushwei gets healed up, IDK getting nearly halfway to his nose boost and now Godspeed can go in. Settles for Rhea as a target, gets him low, the almost Hattie field, nice to keep him up, but that gets broken almost instantly as Gosby starts to dance around the bell. Assassin goes and
He's just playing with his prey. That's all he's doing.
seems like it is. They get about halfway to where they need to. Assassin's mech does fall early to Nero, and now Nero's going to finish him off with the icicle. As Dora finds Rio, and now Assassin's going to get back quicker than Rio, and especially with this pressure coming through from the dive comp. This favours the Spark in the long run, as Nero getting a face full of orbs by the Zen, forced to use the ice block. The Mortality Field comes up, but the pulse bomb's through. That could be big. Finishes off Neptuno with the pistols there, as now it's Happy and Shu versus the world. Happy finds one, and the Spark elect to not capture the point. Pan out their stats, and now, baby, it's not the Zen that died there as Shu falls, and map 5.
Wow, that was an interesting final round, to say the least.
We saw Dive.
The return of Dive.
Play
the game.
The flanking Bebe play. It has to be.
I wanted to see the play.
Way to take the fun out of it, Overwatch League.
Well, NA production.
Map 5.
What are you gonna ask? Map 5.
2.
This is the first Map 5 that we have seen all week. In all of the matches that we have covered, this will be our first Map 5.
Apart from the one you didn't see.
Oh yes. I thought you were talking to me. I was like, no, wait, yeah, I saw that.
No, you must have seen it.
I was in it. You did.
Yeah.
So, for those of you who new to the Overwatch League don't understand Map 5, so Map 5, obviously, it's a tiebreaker round, and we're just going to go back to control. So the first map type, we're going to repeat for the 5th map type, and if this ends in a tie or they draw, which I doubt it will, then we'll see another control map for Map 6.
They physically can't.
They could. We've seen it happen.
They physically, you can't draw on this.
Unless you're Boston and Houston, and then you find a way.
Boston and Houston always find a way to draw out everything. An incredible match to watch as we're sitting the Ryan Diva, the meta, almost from the Charger, even as the Spark. Space onto this point for his team to work with, but who does he go for? He can't really target anyone, and Happy's got Gouchouet in his sights, but Gouchouet just rolls onto point the rest of his team, and now Happy's got to try and make something happen, but he's not getting the angles he needs. The team comp from the Spark is so agile, so mobile, they can move where they want, duck in and out of these pillars as Happy gets pressured up from the side.
Well, the 2 pixels that I'm seeing here are telling me all of about a few things, and that's that Happy is just playing dominant McCree.
Happy gets a nano boost as Gouchouet gets slept, and now Electric Cowboy on the field.
Oh.
As he does find Neptune with the pulse on, Gouchouet sends Happy into his team, and if he got the shots off there, that could have been deadly, but he did not, as Shu falls where it does find Assassin's mech, but I fear that might not be enough to win this fight out for the Chargers. Nero's going to get pressured down here by Bazzi, finished off by the melee and that.
And after that was a very lengthy first fight, and we're only now seeing a team finally capture the point.
What's interesting is we saw the nano boost and the Deadeye coming through from the charge. And
the Chinese teams
only needed to use pulse bomb.
The Chinese teams just love waiting for the final maps of their series to pull out all the weird stuff. We saw like a nano boosted Mercy from the Hunters, and we're seeing nano boosted McCree that we haven't seen at all during this series finally come out from Guangzhou. They've just decided that's a good idea.
Gouchouet's in trouble here though.
Oh, Gouchouet. Well,
couldn't be hit by more CC if he tried, and now
the fight's over. Before it even began.
The Spark might choose to invest here, though. We'll see. Godspeed does have the blade up. He could go for it. He does.
He does.
Goes it up.
He's going to go for it. Going for the brig.
Neptuno punks him away, but Rio charges into the blade,
There's
and now Godspeed can pick up the main tank. And now Happy gets knocked into Gouchouet's proximity mines, and Neptuno gets knocked off by Assassin, and now, from a winning position, the Charge have spectacularly given up the fight.
Yeah, well, okay, but going into this next fight, they're going to have 4 ults online, which is exactly 1 more than the Spark are going to have. They might have enough 5. Shu with his
Nano boost just about ready.
The nano boost just about ready. I wonder who's going to use it on. Are we going to see another Electric Cowboy? I want to see him use it on the Mei. That's all I got to say. I want to see a nano boosted Mei.
I do not, as Charge looking to push Cliff, but just looking for Gouchway. Gouchway is right there. If they can pick him off like they did at the start of last fight, that could be devastating as Bazzi with the pulse bomb sticks it to the man, and explosions are rife with Saturn's self-destruct.
Oh, that was a
picking up
great
Shu as well.
self-destruct. A great self-destruct.
And now, this is desperation time for the charge. Can they even get on and touch? Rio does have the shatter if he can get back to his team, but it's 96% now.
Just
Nero
give it
getting
up.
pressured down, and Krong touches on the Diva. That's something. As Rio picks up a big shatter, knocks down 4 members of the Spark, and 2 fall instantly.
And suddenly we're
Bazzi and
seeing a
IDK out of
repeat
the
of the
equation.
London versus Justice match. Just when they thought they had it.
Didn't watch that one, but
Ah,
yeah,
you didn't watch that
last
one.
minute shatter coming in, saving the day, just like Raw. As happy falls to Gosby, but that doesn't mean anything in the grand scheme. As Neptuno sends Gosby on a graceful dive over the edge, and going to be charged, getting some point percentage now.
Okay, well, the charge came out of nowhere. I mean, the Rhine Diva against the Rhine Wrecking Ball, clearly, or Diva Wrecking Ball, my bad, my apologies. Rhine is, I don't know how to say this. For the map type that they're playing, the Wrecking Ball might not be the best choice. There's a lot of places to move around, but it's so easy to just get caught and trapped or pushed off the edge.
Absolutely, as we're seeing Gouchway, the aforementioned bull with the minefield, goes in and then drops the power driver. Shu does get healed up by the arm pack from Neptuno, but here's Godsby's blade
And
again.
there's
As
the blade, Rio,
falls.
Shu, one right after the other. They're falling like dominoes.
Godsby. Happy picks up a double though.
Oh,
Picks up
Happy.
a triple with
Happy.
Baby Demon and Assassin falling as well.
4 kills. 4 kills in a row.
And now it's IDK versus Nero for the point, but Nero's going to take that victory every day of the week. And Happy pulling his team out of the depths of defeat and saying, we're still in this, and they're going to have the bomb for the next fight. There's nothing on line for the Spark.
You monster.
Godsby nearly got the reflect on that Deadeye as well, but just mistimed it, and that allowed Happy to pick him up with it. Is now nearly into the last fight territory, and the point is going to be very hard for the Spark to break with the May being able to wall off every entrance.
And depending on how long this fight drags out, depending on how well the Charge are able to draw out this fight, it could very well be last fight territory.
Gouchway now, where he is the ball, looking to maybe get onto the back line with the power driver. And also spin around this central column as the Spark. They flip over the point, but Charge come back on fighting as Rio just touching the corner. His shield's entirely destroyed though, and that's gonna be a flip for the Spark as Satin gets the bomb, chucks it over the wall. That could be devastating, but they rotate nicely behind Neptuno's shield. Krong uses his self-destruct and doesn't find anything but just the remake. That's all he really wanted from it. And now Happy has the Deadeye. Shu nearly has a nano boost. Non-electric Cowboy. We're seeing electric Genji come out. Doesn't find him though, as Godsby can nearly finish up his blade here as Gouchway's ground pound going to find some big value as Godsby goes in deep. Gets the blade out as Bazzi finds Happy with the pulse bomb, and now in it comes, looking for Neptuno's Brigitte. He finds it. Godsby does cut off Krong, but it doesn't really matter as the Spark take the point irregardless of his efforts.
Godsby and Bazzi just filling up that kill feed. They were responsible single-handedly for every single pick in that final fight.
They are the Dive Dream Team from Spark.
My excitement, my well-placed faith in those two. Don't fail me now, guys. Don't fail me.
Yes.
But Nero and Happy Nero and Happy, specifically Happy. What are you doing with the McCree, mate? I mean, every time he pulls him out, every time Happy decides, hey, I'm going to try the McCree, the Sparks don't have an answer.
We're seeing the Charge playing mystery heroes here of their team comp as seeing a Bull Zarya. This is a strong map for the Bull.
Okay, but Happy's going back over
it.
to the Tracer, but Doomfist Tracer, so...
it's dive. It's just unorthodox.
It is
Zarya
dive.
new meta.
But depending on how they place Happy, Nero doesn't have nearly enough poke potential. He's a pick-heavy hero, meaning that Happy has to play a more defensive Tracer to protect her tanks.
Maybe is now Bazzi goes little low to start off the fight. Rio and Happy here going in on Bazzi.
Yeah, Bazzi's just
going to survive, but Bebe does not as Shu finds him. Point is captured by the Spark, and the Charge going to start making their way onto it now as Nero gets the D-suit and he goes in onto Bazzi's Tracer, doesn't find him. And now
Nobody move this door.
Now, Nero now looking in for the
Fill the bottom where it was.
IDK and doesn't find him. As Happy's got the pulse on. IDK
Right.
does just about survive. Happy goes in deep for the finish off, but doesn't quite catch him.
That started out well for the Spark, but it didn't end well for the Spark.
No, it's now the Pulse Bomb's online for Happy. They're going to have the Nano Boost to go with that. Pulse is also online, but we're seeing the Arna versus Zen difference here. They'll have the defensive trans, but there'll be no offensive capabilities. Nero goes incredibly low, gets a Nano Boost just to stay alive, I think. He does pick up Bazzi with the Rocket Punch. That's probably going to be a fight one already, as he falls down to 30 health again, and he rotates back towards the point. Just about alive, but not any longer. Gushue kills him with the grappling hook there.
This could be another flip.
Gushue does fall, gets knocked off the map by Rio, one of my particular favourite maps for Wrecking Ball environmental kills. The Shu shuts down Godspeed's blade, and that could be bad news for the Spark, especially as they invested big in that fight there. IDK going to fall early, or fall late even, as it's full on retreat for the Spark.
It is, yes. Brigitte, the Brigitte pick for support on this specific round. Brigitte is very good on this point, specifically because she can play around that natural cover and she can flank so many different ways. And we're seeing like Neptuno got the flank onto Godspeed, and then she was able to clean him up just like that. All
Godspeed's
because
not going over to the Kree for the last fight.
Well,
Rio,
no
Rio
offense,
goes in
Godspeed,
for
but you're
that.
no happy. You're no happy.
We'll see if he can earn his medal here as Nero just swats the front line as the grab comes through, and here's the Space Jam. They don't touch the point. That's 2 times we've seen big combos, big kills coming out at the end of rounds, but made irrelevant. The point's captured, and now we're going all the way in map 5.
This is for all the beans. This is for the whole of China.
This is go big or go home moment.
Well, this is for half of China.
This is the battle of the zoo teams, as I like to call them.
Hangzhou and Guangzhou got them very messed up at the start of their existence, but I've got used to them. One's got cool colours, the other is the Spark, and
Hey. The Sparks colors are better. The pink and white. There's no better team colors.
I'd have to disagree with you there. Soul Dynasty were very cool when they first came out. We're seeing Pharmacy through for the charge now as a Ryan Sigma being played by the Hangzhou Spark.
Godspeed does have that sniping potential. He could pick the Pharah out of the sky, no problem.
That projectile though from the Han's going to make it all the more difficult as Nero's already 40% to his ult, and he's just going to keep raining in on the backline. Crashing down Godspeed. Godspeed's now cut off, but Nero's not going to go for him. He's looking for another target. Puts a couple of rockets into Gushue, but Happy falls to a headshot from Bazzi. That's a clean one shot, and now Aria gets frozen up. Does pop the shields, but Gushue pops the charge and pops him out the game as Godspeed falls to Nero's Farah, but that's going to be Spark getting early control here.
Yeah, fantastic offense. Nero playing from the sky, he was looking for a pick, he was looking for something. And meanwhile, the rest of his team was engaging in a 5v6 on the point.
Now, Nero's got the barrage though, so playing the long game here. Not the first time he's played a long game of a bizarre flank, as he can now pummel in some damage onto Gushue, got him down to half health as
Well, playing the long game, I don't understand how he's going to play the long game when he has to get pretty close to use that barrage.
maybe his Shu pops the coalescence but gets walled off. Does get a little bit of damage onto Assassin. Assassin falling quite low. And he gets felled by Nero's barrage, which picks up a double, playing, as I said, the long game. Gushue does get a pin off onto Krong, but Rio finds Gushue, and that's going to be a point going over to the charge. Godspeed stalling it out, and Bebe's trans, they are committing to this. They're going to get a good few more percent onto the board here.
The Spark aren't ready to give this up just yet. And
perhaps they should be.
That's the Spark's whole motto right there, Why give it over that easily when we can just stall it out for a few more percentage? Because they went from having 42% to 56%, which
they're not necessarily out this yet. But Nero in the sky might be bad news. They've got no hits going to deal with it. Gushue picks one up on point, and Bazzi uses the wall to flip it back over. A couple more percent. They're stalling this out excellently, but this will be all of that stall over. point now definitely going to be flipped over.
Happy is dancing around the back line.
Spark taking lessons from the well-known singer Rick Astley, never giving this point up, but
Oh, God.
they had to
No,
eventually.
I'm going to have to quiet you down there. Just you be quiet.
70% accrued for the Spark as now it's their turn to attack on this full-on dive. They've got no ults there. They've just reset their ult economy for this, so it's going to be a very eco fight to start off with. Krong does have the graviton surge.
Why, Spark? Why? Why would you switch?
They've got time. They made it work in the first round. They
definitely have time, but I don't think time is the issue here. The issue is, with the exception of like the Tracer or the Diva, they're not running heroes that build their ults super, super fast. And that's really what they need. They just need to keep building those ults.
Build his tool as he loses the mech.
Oh.
They won't even need to invest grav into this fight. They use the Pulsar Gushui, don't finish him off, but Krong now looking to lace down Bazzi, who does take out Nero in exchange for his life, but the barrage from Nero did kill Baby, and now cleanup's coming through for the charge here as Krong picks up a triple.
And with Nero, the Spark going for one of the least effective heroes on that team. They targeted the Pharah, but meanwhile, everybody else on the ground was going straight for him.
Meanwhile, it's the last fight now for the Spark, and they don't have it.
So, unfortunately, nobody heard that because your connection dropped very low, and
your connection dropped as well. I was just
both of our connections just kind of pooped out on us, and we didn't
at the exact same time. But yes, that is one of the weirdest series I've ever seen. We saw the charge be done, then the Spark, and the charge, and the Spark, and then they went to the last of the last, and at the end of the day, the charge just walked away with the victory.
Yeah, it looked like Happy and Nero were playing so much more dominant DPS than Adora and Godspeed, which, when it comes down to it, especially in double barrier comp, you need your DPS to be making those picks. You need them to be pushing forward constantly. And the Spark just weren't doing that.
No, that is something I need to address this week. We're still playing in the Chinese conference that the Blizzard set up. I believe Seoul are also going to be playing in that lot this weekend. So maybe fortunes can be changed for the team in pink.
Yeah. So let's shift gears and let's talk about next week. Next week, our hero pools, again, for people who are new to the Overwatch League or people who are watching this but don't necessarily keep up with it, hero pools every week, any hero with more than 10% pick rate is put into a drawing, and they remove 1 support, 1 tank, and 2 DPS from the lineup each week. And this week, Soldier 76, Lucio, Winston, and Sombra were all out. This week, McCree, May, Wrecking Ball, Brigitte.
Which we call a Brigitte in Europe, and that might be an interesting set of bans, because you can't play bunker really with the May McCree gun. You can't play dive with Wrecking Ball. You can see the Winston Diva, yeah. Maybe Lucio Arno. Maybe it might be a full dive.
Dive seems like it's the best option. What I think we could see Rein Zarya, Reaper Doomfist, and like Lucio Ana. Just kind of. I think we could see Brawl heroes. I think either Dive or Brawl. Either one of those two will be very dominant this week.
But we could see an entire repeat of the 2019 Grand Finals. We could see Orisa Sigma, Reaper Doomfist, and Moira Lucio.
That's
But that remains to be seen. For the future is the future, and we're
it does
not good
remain to be
enough to see
seen.
that
And
yet.
going into next week, we're going to be covering 4 of those matches. I don't know which 4 we're going to be doing yet, but it is going to be 4 of them. We're going to hit them Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and Sunday, and then cover next week's matches, or not next week's matches, yeah, the week after next week, for the following week.
And I look forward to casting every single one of them, especially maybe even the rematch between the Ivan and the San Francisco Shock. I think that'd be a great match to watch.
I think we can definitely guarantee our viewers that we will be seeing Valiant versus Shock rematch.
Maybe we will. Maybe we won't.
Maybe. I would feel very confident in saying that we're definitely going to be doing that. But for now, my name is Spherno, and that's Pear. Say goodbye, Pear.
Adios.
And this was the Fruit Bowl cast. I hope you guys all enjoyed. As always, we're going to be putting the link to the actual match, what you guys are seeing here, down in the description. We apologize for any production team issues. Again, streaming from China and bringing the game here to the US is not the easiest thing when you're doing it over several thousand miles, but we're going to make it work. So thank you guys so much for watching, and we'll